China has given imperatives to Carrie Lam and to the Hong Kong government that they must complete the so-called constitutional responsibility to complete the domestic legislation on national security law under Article 23 of the Basic Law. Although we have seen the new national security law imposed by Beijing has been widely used to repress and arrest activists and civil society organizations and union members. From the eyes of the government, there are still many rooms for them to maximize the capacity of the local laws to criminalize all kinds of activities, including local groups' connections with overseas groups. And therefore, they may see that a legislation on the national security under Article 23 of the Basic Law becomes necessary. But more importantly, it is also a sign that the governments of Hong Kong and China want to expand the national security regime to everywhere in society. And more use of the old laws and new laws together can help the government to wipe up all the potential voices and forces of opposition in Hong Kong now.
Carrie Lam has also pledged to build a mega courtroom that can accommodate trials with huge numbers of defendants, like the 47 pro-democracy candidates that are standing trial for sedition, for standing for primary elections. So is this a solution?
Building a mega court could not solve the problem at all, because the real issue is there have been a mass arrests and arbitrary prosecutions against peaceful protesters and civilians during the 2019 protests. And after the imposition of the national security law a year after, these mass arrests, arbitrary arrests, and prosecution become much more common in Hong Kong. We have more than 10,000 citizens being arrested, and only a quarter of them are being charged. We can see the trend of the mass prosecution, mass arrests, and arbitrary detentions happening in Hong Kong. Many of them are suffering from pretrial detention. And because of the government's intimidation to the civil society's crowdfunding for supporting protesters in the court, and the limitations of the legal aid systems in Hong Kong is a much bigger issue if the government truly wants to uphold access to justice and the rule of law. And therefore, building a mega court is just a sidetrack of the real issue that these protesters should not be prosecuted at the very beginning.